Hi everybody, it's Coach Ali. I'm in the studio with Steph and we're going to go through a full body dumbbell workout with you guys. Now this one's going to be a little bit more advanced. It's going to test you out a little bit more and we're going to try and get through all 14 major muscle groups in your body. Let's get started. This combination is an isolateral chest press. So you can see my left arm is static in that press position and it's the right arm that's doing all the work. It's doing the dynamic work. Now it's an isometric exercise for the left and an isotonic exercise for the right. Make sure you're looking for that vertical push and make sure that you've got your lower back pinned against your bench in order to support your back. Now you're going to find that you're going to get some good core engagement in this because you have to try to stabilize as you've got one dynamic side. So to help with balance, you can go a little bit wider with your feet and nice grip of the feet on the floor. Okay, isolateral chest fly combination for this exercise. So you can see the left arm is remaining isometric and your dynamic arm is on your right. Now you can see I'm working around about 90 degrees angle. The rotation is at the shoulders and not at the elbows. So the elbow is remaining soft straight throughout the entire exercise. Making sure that you're keeping the dumbbell perpendicular to your body and make sure that you've pinned your lower back against the bench to support you. Steady, controlled movement, especially on the way down on the eccentric part of the exercise. Your turn to try it. Single arm pulse rows for this combination. So it's basically a single arm row with a pulse at the top of it, as you can see. Now I'm dropping the dumbbell straight down and making sure I'm keeping my elbow tucked in. And I'm also making sure there's no rotation of the shoulders during the exercise. So just keeping that pronated body and just making sure that I'm keeping my spine nice and neutral. Keep good control in your base. and just a matter of switching from left side to right side as far as your first and second exercise is concerned. That 3-point position is going to give you good core engagement as well, especially during the pulse. Let's get you guys to have a go at this one. Single arm T-row combination with a pulse. So this one's a little bit tricky because you've got to make sure that you keep your stabilizers in check when you're hitting that pulse at the top. Make sure that your shoulders are remaining straight, good core engagement, stable base, and just make sure that your elbow is right out by your shoulder and that your palm is facing towards your legs the entire time you do the exercise. Make sure there's no rotation of the shoulders whatsoever. Now, as far as your breathing is concerned, make sure the exhale comes on the way up and the inhale is when you're resetting towards the bottom. Good stable control over your movement. Let's have you try this exercise. Shoulder press and lateral raise combination for this exercise to really hit those shoulders. Now, you can see with the first exercise, we're seated in a 3-point position, so you've got to make sure you've got ample weight on both of your feet and your butt, and just making sure that you're keeping that back nice and neutral. We're going to press up in vertical fashion, and there's no rotation of the hands at all. For the second exercise, we're going to go into some lateral raises. A good core control, neutral spine, that nice heavy controlled base is really, really important. And we're going to come up 90 degrees at the shoulders. So we want to try and get into a crucifix position with the arms, releasing nice and slowly for the eccentric component. Alright, a fantastic traps and rhomboids combination here, you guys. So you can see I'm starting with neutral grip upright rows. So I'm holding that neutral grip and pulling the dumbbells up by my ribs. So you allow your elbows to work their way back. Make sure that they're tucked in. We don't want those elbows hanging out wide. And then also make sure that you're holding a nice neutral spine. A good base is going to help you with this one. Now, what we'll do for the second exercise is we're going to work some shoulder shrugs, but you can see the way I'm doing it. I'm moving up and then I'm circling out, and this is going to prevent any strain in the traps. So again, very important to do it this way. Let's have you guys try this combination. Okay, a more advanced version of skull crushers for this triceps exercise. So you can see I've gone 2 dumbbells and that I'm holding neutral hands and just making sure my arms are remaining parallel. There's no movement in the elbow, so it's just the lower part of the arm doing the work, and you're extending all the way up until you've got vertical arms and good flexion in your triceps. Then let's switch over and hit some body weight triceps dips. So making sure that your elbows are tucked in by your side. We're not too wide with our arms, and just making sure that your elbows are remaining behind you. Don't move too far away from your bench because we don't want to put any pressure on your rotator cuffs, and you can place the dumbbell on your thighs for some extra resistance. Isolateral biceps curls, guys. So this is a nice tricky one. It's going to test you out a little bit. So you can see I've got an isometric side where I'm holding the supinated hand position and just keeping that elbow tucked in. Now that is the hard part of the exercise. The easy part is actually doing the curls on the other side. Now make sure that both your elbows remain static while you're doing your exercise, and just good control all the way through, always keeping a nice neutral spine as well. So for the second exercise, we're simply just going to switch arms and work on the other side. Now your isometric side at this point is going to be quite tired because it was your dynamic side on the previous set. So this is going to test you out nicely. isolateral hammer curls for the lateral part of your biceps for this combination. Now you can see we've got an isometric side and we have an isotonic or dynamic side, if you like. Make sure your elbows are tucked in by your ribs and there's no movement in those elbows. We're simply doing repetitions on one side, and just make sure that you're maintaining your posture throughout. For the second exercise, we're just going to switch it up. So your dynamic side is now static and we're going to work the opposite side. So make no mistake, the hard part is the static side, the isometric side, and not the side that you're actually curling. Let's get you guys to have a go at this combination. Okay, these are some nice long range crossbody crunches for this exercise. So you can see we're doing a set on the right and then doing a set on the left. So you want to try and get your elbow and your thigh or your knee to connect as much as possible and release slowly until you're back in that supine position, just lying nice and flat. Let's do one set with the left and then another set with the right. Now, I want you guys to make sure that you keep your elbows nice and wide and try not to put any excess pressure on your neck because we don't want to yank at the neck. We just want to support it for this exercise. Let's get you guys to have a go at this combination. An abs, obliques and intercostals combination for this one, guys. So we're going to start with some Russian twists. Now you can see that I've got my feet up on the bench and the toes pointing up, so this is just going to give you some support while you're doing it. And then it's a matter of rotating with the body and trying to pull that dumbbell back without actually creating a row. So it's basically a rotation of the torso and not an actual rowing technique. We'll switch it up and work some oblique tilts on the next exercise. So you can see we're alternating lefts and rights as far as this is concerned, and we're just creating a small letter C to the left and then another one to the right. Keep your back nice and neutral throughout the exercise. Your turn to have a go. a fantastic lower back and upper glute combination for this one, guys. So we're hitting a good posterior range with the crucifix, but we're particularly focused on trying to really develop your erectors for this one. Now you can see the feet are nice and straight and the toes are pointing up. Now we'll come all the way up until you create a straight line from your ankle all the way to your shoulder, and then just drop back down into your seated relaxed position. Now to complement this exercise, we're going to work some reverse hypers. Again, a good combination to really work on the glutes and the lower back. You can see I'm basically pushing my feet up towards the ceiling and then just doing it with ample control. Bodyweight dynamic leg curls for this exercise. So we're working one leg at a time. This is a little bit more advanced variation because there is quite a lot of pressure there. Now you can see that I'm swinging my body forward but making sure my arms are remaining nice and straight, and then it's just a matter of gripping and pushing back. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on the squeeze on your way in, and then just push it back until your toes are pointing up. Now you can see one leg is off the ground the entire time. Now this is a more advanced combination, so don't worry too much if you have a little bit of trouble with it. Your turn to try it. Split squats for this next combination, guys. So we'll do a set on the right side and then we'll do a set on the left as well. You can see I've gone with a goblet hold as far as the dumbbells concerned, and this is going to be nice and easy to hold. It's going to be nice and stable. Now make sure that your split squat is lengthy enough, and you want to make sure that both sets of toes are pointing forward. You want to make sure your back foot is not twisting, and then just focus on trying to get that back knee maybe just 1 inch off the ground, and then push all the way up until that back knee is nice and straight. There should be no backward and forward swing on this exercise, guys, so make sure you watch for that as well. Your turn to try it. suitcase squats for this exercise, guys. We're really focusing on one leg at a time doing it this way. So you can see all the pressure is on the weighted side, and we're essentially using the other side for balance. Now, make sure that your feet are at shoulder width and they're nice and parallel so that we can get that quadricep action happening. And we want to try and keep our upper body vertical throughout. So try not to lean forward if you can. The second exercise is simply switching hands and doing your suitcase squats on the other side. So really putting the pressure on the opposite leg this time round. Make sure we've got nice steady action throughout the whole exercise, both on the way down and on the way up. Your turn to try it. Side to side squats to get inside and outside of those legs, guys. Now, to make this really effective, make sure that your feet are parallel and you've got to make sure that they're nice and wide. Now you can also see I've gone with a goblet hold as far as the dumbbell is concerned, and just really trying to maintain my posture as far as the upper body is concerned. So we want to try not to swing left and right with it. To complement this exercise, we're going to work some sumo squats. So again, these are wide squats with your toes pointing 45 degrees outwards. We're going to drop down with nice rangy movement and then go all the way up until your knees are soft straight. Again, maintaining your posture throughout. Weighted donkey kicks, guys. Now you can see we're doing it on the bench, but if you're more comfortable doing it on the floor, by all means do it on the floor. It's just a matter of making sure that the back of the knee, your plantar is actually gripping the dumbbell so that you're not dropping it, and then making sure that there's no movement in the upper body at all. So there's no swing in the upper body. It's basically a flexion of the hamstrings and the glutes and the erectors to a good extent as well. Now you have to keep your knee flexed the whole time so that you don't risk dropping your dumbbell for this one. A good way of doing it is to flex your foot and just make sure that you're keeping your foot as close to your butt as you can throughout the exercise. Your turn. Nice little calves combination for this one, guys. We're going to work some ballet calves raises. So that's, you can see heels together and toes pointing out. Just making sure we're holding the dumbbell goblet style, and this is going to keep the weight close to your core and it's going to help you with your balance. Now for the second exercise, we're going to switch it up. We're going to go toes in and heels out and work some pigeon toe calves raises. And this is going to give us an ample opportunity to manipulate the outside and the inside of the calves throughout one superset. Now try and lift as high as you can and then come down nice and slowly until your heels are on the ground. Double calves raise from a seated position for this one. So you can see I've got my feet comfortably at shoulder width, my toes are pointing forward, I've got both sides weighted, and it's just a matter of lifting your heels all the way up and then dropping them all the way back down. You're going to get this engagement in the calves and in the soleus as well. Now for the second exercise, for a little bit of a difference, we're going to prance between our lefts and rights. So you can see we're actually doing alternate calves raises as opposed to doing them together. By the time you reach the end of this set, you should have nice burn in your calves. Your turn to try it, guys. Well done for getting through the workout with us today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, if you have any particular workout that you want to see, don't be afraid to comment and let us know. Having done over 1,400 workouts on YouTube, I'm starting to run out of ideas, to be frank with you guys. So I want your ideas. So tell me what you want to see and we'll try to produce those for you. Now, if you like the workout, please remember to subscribe if you haven't already and share it with your friends. We'll see you guys very soon.